SCV Today is brought to you by SCV Leasing, Santa Clarita's premier property management firm, Nissan of Valencia, home of the $99 down delivers, and Helm Vision Group, offering the best laser vision correction technology.
Welcome back to SCV Today. The set is live. We're on. That one threw me off for a second.
What happened?
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Welcome back. I'm Dave Caldwell. This is Tammy Edwards. And Mike Bjorkman is with us. Mike, over here. Eyes here. Eyes here,
I like
pal.
watching the monitor. It's like I'm watching.
But we're right here. You don't need to watch us on TV. You can see us right here.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Are you excited about this challenge?
I am very excited. Yes, you guys in your underwear getting dumped with ice and water.
No one
That's
ever said
fantastic.
anything about my underwear.
Oh, it's just implied.
You dump on Tammy.
All right. I'll dump
Well,
it
is
on
there
her.
some like feelings with that you want to?
No, she's a very good employee. She's got her heart into
We're
it.
a very good independent contractor.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh.
sorry. See, that's what I got to deal with.
Yeah, that's why I think this is good for you. This would be very cathartic for
If
you.
I were an employee, I'd have on Louboutins.
All right, well, let's talk real estate in Santa
Yeah,
Clarita
let's do
because
it.
you are the king.
Thank you.
Yeah, you are the king.
Does that make me the princess?
You've always been the princess, Tammy. Is she the real estate princess? I'll let you
Since
adorn
princess
that
of something.
There's a lot of companies that are relocating into Santa Clarita.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that for a second because there are companies that businesses will work with to help you relocate yourself.
Right.
Are these a good thing? Should they go straight to Mike Bjorkman? Should they go
Of course.
straight to a real estate company? I mean, what?
It's a good topic for today because, there's a couple of little niches that I've always specialized in, foreclosures, short sales, a lot of the default stuff. But relocation has always been a big one for me. Growing up out here and starting so young in the business 25 years ago, I've watched Santa Clarita grow. I've watched the entire industrial center start from nothing and grow up. And what I used to do is I used to hunt down the HR directors and it's kind of the big wigs involved in moving companies in when they came from out of states, and a lot of them came from San Fernando Valley. So I'd go to them and I'd say, here's some of the benefits of using me when relocating your clients to Santa Clarita. So you get a reputation, but then there's a lot of organizations that you can join and a lot of certifications that you can get. So it moved in from little towns from San Fernando Valley to big companies. I work a lot for Ford and Disney and Nestle and really big companies. And there's a couple things you got to know. When relocating into town, obviously you want an agent that's very experienced and knows the town like the back of their hand. But what I specialize in right now is companies that are moving out. Unfortunately, California is not the most business-friendly state anymore, and big companies are realizing that and taking huge benefits of other areas. We've always done a lot of work with the film industry. We've always done a lot of work with like clothing, things like that. So people that work in the valley but live here are being relocated all over the place. So companies like Reology and some of the really big companies own the relocation companies. What people don't realize is they don't have to use the relocation company's agents. A lot of times they use agents that are far away. They have a 20-mile radius that they pull up in the computer. So they could be pulling up somebody in Van Nuys to be an agent to represent the seller out here. And a lot of times people just don't know. They say, oh, well, my business says I should use this person, so I might as well do that. And although the relocation company may pay their closing cost commissions and things like that, which is a huge benefit, they don't realize that they're still not getting as much money for the home, or it's taking too long to sell. And then it makes it really uncomfortable for when they do get to where they're moving. They're there at the last second, or they've had to reduce their price so much that it's really hurt their pocketbook. So I encourage people, when you do have a relocation package, and that's kind of what they call it, they might give them 2 or 3 different real estate agents' names, but unfortunately, usually they're not experienced or from out of the area. And it's kind of weird. You think a big relocation company would interview their brokers better, but it's kind of, they put it on a little wheel, okay, Mike's next, Tammy's next, Dave's next, and that's how they do it. And they don't put a lot of thought into choosing the agents for their companies to relocate. So that's where I say, look, interview us still, and we still can communicate with the relocation company, and they won't come out and say, oh yeah, feel free to call whoever you want, because they want to use their own companies and they're supporting their companies, which is understandable. But people really need to know and understand you do have a choice in your agent just because that company's telling you.
And Mike, would you suggest, say, Dave's moving to New Mexico, and you've been his trusted realtor for years, but you don't work in New Mexico.
Right.
Does he just start Googling New Mexico, or does he call you?
Yeah, and that's one of the things I do for relocation clients is I interview agents out there, wherever you're moving to. And that's just a simple like 21 question, and it's a lot of my Googling. I can look and see how long they've been licensed, where they've been, where they're going, what companies they're working with, and then a phone interview, and then I could say, Dave, this is a very good agent for this area for you to use. And you still have relocation benefits in that other area as well. I just communicate with that agent, look, this is a relocation package from XYZ company. You're going to need to pay a referral fee to them. However, here's a new client for you.
There was, back in the day, when I was in Denver, and I worked for a company, and one of my jobs, it was a nationwide company, one of my jobs was to work with the relocation company because they were transferring executives all over the country. This company was in Omaha, and so they would buy the executive's home in whatever city they were in, and then arrange for everything to get moved over and make those arrangements. Is that still happening? 'Cause that was a long time ago.
Yeah, no, that's how it used to happen, and
Yeah.
the companies were losing their shorts on that.
I would think so.
So now they just apply a certain amount. Like if you're getting transferred, they say, well, we'll pay all your moving expenses. We'll pay up to 10% of the cost of the sale of your home. Typically what happens is they'll do an appraisal and they'll say, okay, you owe this much, or you've bought the house for this much. We're willing to pay X amount of dollars over market value or make up the difference. It just depends on the individual company. So you mentioned Denver. I did a lot of work for Coors, and that was a really big one because they come over and you used to steal all the Budweiser employees, and of course all the Budweiser employees work here or live here.
Yeah.
So I dealt with their relocation company a lot. That's funny you say that. Brings back a lot of memories. Coolest guys. You show up to work and they'd have a case of beer for you. Growing up, that was fun. So bottom line is, if you're in a relocation position, we're always here for good free advice. But naturally, yeah, you still want to interview your agents just as you normally would to protect yourself, because every penny counts. Even though you're getting the relocation package, it's a big difference.
All right, good stuff, Mike Bjorkman.
Okay, well let's go dump some ice water. Forget all this stuff.
You just want to get to it. Yeah. Well, before we do that, we've got Joe Messina that's going to be on the program.
Oh,
the
boy.
idiots of the world. Mike, would
you screw that up every week.
No, how do I screw that up? Yeah, I'm not
Joe's
sure
not
Joe
the
is.
idiot.
He's bringing us the idiots.
He's a little.
Would you ever do plastic surgery to improve your face?
Of course. I'm considering it right now. Have you
Are
seen
you?
Look at this. No matter what I do, I can't get rid of it.
We got a story that's gonna, I don't know, it's kind of interesting to me, and I think it's gonna be informative to you.
Good.
Now that you want to do that. Joe Messina, when
Let's
we
do it.
return.